Working at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza has always been a living nightmare disguised as a dream come true. From the very beginning onward, employees were put in unnecessary danger, to the point where by the time of the 80s and 90s locations, they were forced to sign long, explicitly detailed waivers that said they wouldn't sue, wouldn't speak, and wouldn't mind if Fazbear Entertainment did a little cleaning if they unexpectedly disappeared. But it made sense. Freddy's was dangerous. There was a killer on the loose, one not keen on getting caught, and nearly a dozen haunted robots who thought anyone working the night shift looked a little too familiar, even if they were a new hire. Not to mention the egregious food and safety regulations gone ignored. The place was a death trap. A lawsuit always steps away. So it makes sense that Fazbear Entertainment would want to shift to automated workers as fast as possible. The Circus Baby rental facility had a large amount of automation, along with an AI hand unit guide to lead the workers through, but it still needed a human to man the controls. It wasn't until years later at the Freddy Fazbear Mega Pizzaplex that technology had finally advanced enough to have a majorly automated system. Pizzas made on conveyors, machines to dispense tickets and passes, a largely hands-off animatronic repairing capsule. And this time, any job that needed to be operated by a human touch found itself replaced with the cold hand of a S.T.A.F.F bot. S.T.A.F.F bots, also known as S.T.A.F.F bots, of a currently unknown acronym, are humanoid robots made to tend to the Pizzaplex. They work as backup security, as the cleaning crew, the chefs, the delivery men, the attendants, the managers, the spare comedians. Any extra role is handled by a S.T.A.F.F bot. And as showcased in Help Wanted 2, even the rare low-ranking human employee may find themselves under the management of a S.T.A.F.F bot, instead of managing them. Though this isn't common, as during a late-night meeting, almost all of the human staff, save Vanessa, were unexpectedly fired. We will cover that incident momentarily. Let's continue with the S.T.A.F.F bots themselves. The basic model of the S.T.A.F.F bot, and some consistent details across most of the various kinds, involve an oval head with large eyes, little triangles under the eyes, a rounded chest, and 2 long arms with 2 fingers and a thumb. Most of the models have a bottom mount with wheels, but at least one lacks this and instead hangs from the ceiling. Notably, they do not have mouths, even though they are capable of speaking. Due to some of these design elements, especially the shape, the eye triangles, and the fingers, the S.T.A.F.F bot seem to be designed off of, or somewhat resemble, the puppet. Something that spreads into the Nightmare variant, but the connection between them is unknown, if not just an homage. S.T.A.F.F bots come with both male and female voices, despite many of their voice lines not making it into Security Breach. These automated voices share a lot of the same lines, however.
The Mega Pizzaplex is closed. Leave the premises or I will be forced to call security.
Exit the building. This is your final warning.
While S.T.A.F.F bots seem to be mindless robots that follow their programming, they have been shown to express irritation and anger, getting annoyed when they're interrupted. Whether or not this is out of any form of personality or something programmed in to keep people from getting in the way of their jobs isn't clarified. Though, as we do find out, the S.T.A.F.F bots aren't treated much better than the human staff. The human staff are often put off by them, and in one case seem to put off their work on them, but S.T.A.F.F bots are often the targets of the glamrock animatronics' tantrums. Chica shoves them aside to get food, Monty likely breaks them as he breaks everything else, Roxy decapitates the driver bots who are simply doing their jobs testing the track, and there's a lot of evidence that the daycare attendant, specifically Moon, captures S.T.A.F.F bots and tortures them, stringing them up and breaking them apart. This was initially believed to be Vanny, but the amount of evidence in their room and the frequently scribbling out of their eyes points to him instead. So it makes sense that S.T.A.F.F bots may be given a firmer spine to put up with this, though their behavior and their designs vary by job. So let's go through them and many tasks they perform at the Pizzaplex. Mop Bots look like their default form, except they are often seen with cleaning equipment such as dust mops. If gotten in the way of, Mop Bots will try to shoo you away, and if unsuccessful, will flag security.
Alert. Alert. Security.
Security S.T.A.F.F bots have a security hat, a flashlight, and a little security badge painted on their chest. These staff bots will patrol areas of the Pizzaplex in pre-designed loops to try to detect any intruder. If they locate an intruder, they will shine their light in their face and sound the alarm, which will attract the Glamrocks and assumedly Vanessa's attention.
I am a security officer. I enjoy my job. I always come back.
Chef bots are staff bots who work in the kitchen, specifically seen filling out orders for the Pizzaplex's automated pizza delivery system. The staff bots roll from kiosk to kiosk, covering the pizza in ingredients and baking it before delivering it. But in Security Breach, the chef bot is attacked by Chica before he can deliver the pizza, with it looking like she tried to eat him. Though when you get down there, the staff bot is missing and Chica's eating the pizza instead. You can find a dirty chef bot in the Pizza kitchen, but I'm not sure if this is the same one or not.
Now that looks like a delicious pizza. Time to deliver it. Oh no, Chica is in the kitchen. This is not good, not good.
There are also food delivery bots who look like a normal staff bot who take orders from Pizza and El Chips to deliver across the pizzeria. They get agitated quickly if their order isn't filled fast enough, likely programmed to mimic impatient guests. There were also unused El Chips staff bots who wore sombreros, shown in an early teaser for the game. There is a manager bot for El Chips shown in Help Wanted 2. This model hangs from the ceiling and explains how you do your job, then monitors you through your shift. They are quite expressive with their gestures and firm with their automated words. And if you fail your job, they are the one who jump scares you.
Welcome to your new career in food service. It is a task so simple a human can do it.
Another server bot are staff bots who look like Circus Baby, located up in Bonnie Bull's little ice cream parlor. There is also an unused server bot that has some Balloon Boy accents that was, as I said, unused, but its model can be found in the staff bot Afton family shrine. Yeah, so there is a table in the basement set with various staff bot models to resemble the Aftons. There's a Circus Baby staff bot here too, one missing a head, a Nanny Bot and a Magician, which we will get into momentarily. And of course, also one of the servers. A Fry Cook staff bot also went unused, this one with a Fry Cook hat, an apron, and a pink and blue color scheme. Worker bots with hard hats can be spotted in the depths of the Pizzaplex, such as managing the work around the fizzy fast vats and assumedly any construction that must be done.
Dump bad ingredients down drain. Be warned. Dumping ingredients may attract unwanted pests.
Party bots are staff bots mounted outside of attractions. They have chrome metal sections on the upper half of their heads and screens mounted to their right arms that they use to scan passes to allow guests into the various attractions. They then do this cute little celebratory dance.
Do you have a party pass? This attraction costs 1 party pass. Come back when you have a party pass.
Each of the attractions have their own specialized staff bots too, including but excluding Monty Golf, which was supposed to have a caddy staff bot that didn't make it into the final game. Fazer Blast has an attendant bot who tells you the rules and disclaimers, who wears a Freddy Fazbear Blast helmet and vest.
By listening to these instructions, you have waived all rights and ability to make any claims against Fazbear Entertainment. Any accidents or injuries are your sole responsibility or a shared responsibility between you and any associated party involved in said incident.
There are also staff bots dressed like aliens who play as your enemies during the game. They can shoot you and end the game, but won't jump scare you.
Capture the flag. Resistance is futile. This one is for Stewie.
There are also unused alien staff bots with a stronger alien design, having fully stylized heads instead of just wearing helmets and bobbers, matching some of the signage. The daycare has a plethora of staff bot variants, though half went unused, such as the Nanny Bot, who appears in the staff bot Afton family table and thus technically is in the game, but doesn't appear anywhere else. She has blue bobbed molded hair and a purple dress with an apron and noticeable painted eyelashes. And though not confirmed, I would say due to her soft appearance and name that she was likely used for the daycare. The other staff bots here are located in the Fazbear Theater, such as the Comedy Bot. The Comedy Bot can be found on the theater stage where he will perform his routine.
How is everyone doing tonight? I just rolled in and boy are my wheels tired. So, where are you from? How interesting. I have never been there. I am confined to this building. Tell me, from where you come from, do they call it pop or soda? Well, Here we call it half off at our concession stand for the next 15 minutes. And that is no joke. Why did Chica cross the road? To get to the great savings at Glamrock Gifts. With every purchase of $100 or more, get a collectible Mega Pizzaplex mug. But seriously folks, enjoy your visit and enjoy your delicious mouth-watering pizza. Next show in an unspecified number of minutes.
Well, when they're not blatant advertisements, they're just a little bit dry. Shockingly enough, the deadpan delivery doesn't really help matters. He's entertaining, but I don't think he'd be entertaining kids that much. Current Comedy Bot wears a bowler hat with a gray and blue vest and a black bow tie. But initially, Comedy Bot just looked like a normal staff bot upon release. He also had a glitch where he just wouldn't activate, which had to be fixed in updates. There's also a Magician Bot who randomly replaces Comedy Bot. He has a black top hat and jacket vest with blue accents and a red bow tie. He wasn't in the initial game, but was added in after a later update.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what I am about to show you may confound and confuse you. Some may become scared. Yet I implore you, do not be frightened by the mystical powers I possess. Do not fear the unknown. But be warned. The unknown is both dangerous and uncontrollable in the wrong hands. Now, for my first trick, I will pull a rabbit out of my hat. Error, no rabbit found. Error.
There was also a Mime Bot who likely would have been in the theater but was cut from the final game. He has white and black horizontal stripes on his chest and pink suspenders, which match his pink cheeks. He doesn't look as much like the sock monkey mime we all know and love as you'd think, but he still works. In the backstage area of Help Wanted 2, there are staff bots to be decorated and stylized for performances, but what performances these are unknown. Save that they use costume pieces resembling the glam rocks, sunglasses, necklaces, and various makeup to get the job done. Here are a couple of staff bots I prettied up. In Roxy Raceway exclusively are driver assist bots, staff bots with red accents and Roxy-themed helmets. Mounted into the go-karts, these driver assist bots help young drivers get around the tracks. Where the cutoff age happens is unclear, but what is clear is that these things don't survive long. Roxy has been known to attack them and decapitate them. In one of the notes, it suggests that this could be because she's getting antsy from her racetrack being closed, but it's never really outright stated that that is the case. It could also be just a possessiveness on the track. There are also unused crash test dummy staff bots that would have likely been in the raceway. Now there is a staff bot head repair station located up in the West Arcade, far hidden away in an office. You would think that this would mean that most staff bots could be repaired, but that is not the case. Destroyed staff bots pile up in the basement dump, dozens, hundreds of them sticking in piles, festering away in the dark. But not all of them are deactivated. Vandalized and broken staff bots can be found roaming around in the basement. Broken security bots missing parts of their facial covering, looping around outside of the sunken pizzeria. Piles of staff bots with grotesque faces painted on them, reaching out of the pits of bodies and pulling victims down into the darkness. And this is where we get to the Nightmare Staff Bots, also known briefly as the Alpha Staff Bots, which may suggest they are earlier models, perhaps. These dirty, aggressive, and vandalized staff bots have gotten infected by something and will turn against anyone in their reach. But what is it that infects them? Agony? Suffering? Well, we'll get back to that, because that needs a deeper look. There are a few staff bots left worth mentioning. First is an early version of the staff bot that appears in the Secret of the Mimic demo, and here's where I'd place footage of it, if I had it. Sorry, I know this is the second video in a row that I used that joke, but it kinda works in this case. But yeah, I haven't seen the thing for myself. In fact, I initially thought that there was more than one, but apparently it's one that looks like an older model sorting mail. We'll see it someday. And finally, there is Mop Bot. Mop Bot is a yellow-chested, visor-wearing, glasses-frame-wielding staff bot who hands out maps to visitors. In Security Breach, he becomes somewhat of a running joke, jump-scaring Gregory on his first entry into the atrium, in his first trip to Parts and Service, and when he gets caught by Vanessa either in the prize counter or past the shower rooms. And I say he despite the fact that I believe he too can randomly get a female voice. I swear I once had Mop Bot get feminine voice lines in the basement, assuming it was the same S.T.A.F.F bot, before returning to having a masculine voice in the cutscene, likely because that was a cutscene.
Hi, please take this map. Take a map. Thank you. Please enjoy.
Hello, please take this map.
Now, Mop Bot returns again in Ruin and is one of the only still functioning S.T.A.F.F bots on the premises, but he has a different task now. Referred to as the Mask Bot, Mop Bot has had his head peeled up into ears and now solely exists to give Cassie the Vanny mask when she enters the Pizzaplex, and then proceeds to shut down like the others. There's a bigger story here, but before we get into that, we have to address the S.T.A.F.F bots and the employees. The S.T.A.F.F bot's role in Security Breach is exactly what you would expect. As an extra set of eyes for the patrolling animatronics, an extra set of hands to keep the automated attractions going, and even feature in a couple of missions. The only major role they have in the plot is during the Saving Vanny, Disassemble Vanny endings, where they are commanded by Vanny to tear Freddy to pieces. Well, sort of, he kinda pulls himself back together before the actual ending. But their real story importance comes in their interactions with and connections to the human staff of the Pizzaplex. S.T.A.F.F bot integration occurred before the entire workforce was laid off, as notes around the Pizzaplex mention the employees' experiences with S.T.A.F.F bots. In one, a worker points out that more and more human staff members are being let go, or are gone. Though also mentions that another worker, Leo, was training a S.T.A.F.F bot not to do its job, but to do his job, showing that these S.T.A.F.F bots needed supervision. And that employees who weren't specifically trained to train S.T.A.F.F bots were doing this instead of people who actually were building them. In another note, a woman is fired because she can't make an off-menu pasta, but then her manager is fired because the S.T.A.F.F bots also can't make the off-menu pasta. The general vibe from these notes, what few there are, is that the staff wasn't exactly fond of the S.T.A.F.F bots. They found them off-putting and most of the time unhelpful, as they had to be instructed to do specific tasks. But like it or not, S.T.A.F.F bots suddenly replaced the human workforce, either in majority or entirety, and this seems to have come about during one late-night party. There are 3 notes that discuss the employee party. First, the all-staff meeting note. Reminder to all employees, the all-staff meeting is this Thursday night at 11:30 p.m. All service team attendance is mandatory. There will be cake. Note number 2, the question. Are you going to the staff party? I don't want to stick around after my 14-hour shift, but I don't want to get laid off if I don't show up. This is very odd already. A party at 11:30 p.m., right before the doors lock at 12? Why have a party that late? Why have a party at all? Well, there is another note called Pink Slip. Attention employees, good news! Due to the success of the staff project, we will no longer be needing nighttime employee coverage. We will be reducing nightmare hours effective immediately. Enjoy the additional time spent with your families. So in short, this staff party was a trick to get all the workers in one place and have a massive firing. Then have it be so close to midnight that they all have to leave right afterwards, with or without cake. Well, that's just totally in character for Fazbear Entertainment, but still, something's off. The pink slip note is found in the basement where there's a large dining hall. A staff dining hall, it looks like, and probably where the party was held. And it is destroyed, trashed. This doesn't look like angry employees either. This place has been totally decimated with smashed screens and killed lights. Something was let loose on this place. It looks like something else happened here. And it makes you wonder why they really invited everyone in that late at night. And it also makes you double check the pink slip and realize they lied. It says they were letting off all the night staff, but they had day staff in here as well, or people working since noontime at least. This was an all-staff meeting. The pink slip, hidden to the side, wasn't telling the full story. But this room is, and while I can't say for sure, I think something terrible happened to the employees here. And I think the only reason we're not seeing that much more of a guttural scene is because Security Breach had to even have the mention of blood censored. This is all that we could be shown. But what did it? If it happened, was it Monty? Probably not, because he would have had to get back to his room fast for Gregory to see him around the same time, assuming that party was on the same night that Gregory was in there. If not, I still don't think it was Monty. And if this is the same night that Gregory was in there, then that also means that, yeah, the staff never left. Gregory doesn't see them anywhere, and sure, maybe they ran for the exit, but I have trouble believing that he didn't so much as hear any of them. This was a fleet of people. I would like to make a quick note here, but I recorded that before I revisited the area and got footage for the video, and now getting a good look at the room, it looks like what happened here happened some time ago, which would make sense considering the singular line about missing children, that this whole operation of using the Pizzaplex as a hunting ground was going on for a while. There's always a possibility that it was intended to be the same night, and they just had limited texturing, but in hindsight, I think that it wasn't. But that aside, was it the endoskeletons? Possibly. There was a cut endo with cake smeared on its face and a party hat, and the message specifically mentions cake. That's a likely candidate, especially since we know they're crawling around down here. But there is another option too. The S.T.A.F.F bots themselves. Capable of tearing Freddy apart in seconds, the S.T.A.F.F bots may be largely docile, well, some of them, but they are not harmless. And if not them, we know for a fact that Vanny controls the S.T.A.F.F bots directly. It could have been them. This could have been a setup. Why would Fazbear Entertainment do this? Well, they're an evil, stupid company that does a lot of sadistic things that unnecessarily blow large amounts of money for no reason. But what if it wasn't Fazbear Entertainment? Vanessa, head of security, has control of this facility. As Vanny and with Glitchtrap behind her, she single-handedly got the entire security staff fired, anyone who questioned her fired, turned away the police without repercussions, and likely plenty more. So who says this was the company and not Glitchtrap and Vanny? There's actually a hint that it could have been them, but it's circumstantial evidence that comes in Help Wanted 2, when we learn something diabolical about the S.T.A.F.F bots. Throughout the game, Help Wanted 2, we play as an employee testing the new virtual reality software in the Pizzaplex. This is where we get to see a lot of the on-the-job encounters with various S.T.A.F.F bots, and this is also where we find out what can happen if Glitchtrap wants to put you out of the way. In one ending, the technician ends up summoning Glitchtrap and is promptly swarmed by nightmare S.T.A.F.F bots. The world goes dark. And then he boots up in the body of a S.T.A.F.F bot, the Mask Bot, briefly awakening to hand over the Vanny mask to little Cassie before the world darkens out again. This is the first time it has been confirmed that human souls can be trapped inside of the S.T.A.F.F bots. It's unclear if he's in like all of them in a hive mind or just the Mask Bot, and that's why the Map Bot was so overly active in Security Breach, or if that was long before he got turned into it, considering what's shown in the virtual world. Time would be broken and it's too complicated to decipher it now. All we can say is that in that moment, a worker was confined in the body of a machine, forced to perform a task. And suddenly the success of the S.T.A.F.F bot integration and the wrecked party room, and the disappearing workers even before that party, shines a new light on what's going on at the Pizzaplex, why the staff really disappeared and why the S.T.A.F.F bots were integrated so seamlessly, and why they were thrown out if they were out of their use. Freddy's had a history of screwing machines. If they get twitchy, they become a liability. Dump them in the trash and move on. We have no confirmation here, but I think we all feel what happened. The employees became dead weight, both for Fazbear Entertainment, who was bleeding money through them, and for Vanny and Glitchtrap, who needed them out of the way. So, get rid of them. And sure, you could just fire them all, but maybe that would draw too much attention to the Pizzaplex. Instead, you get rid of them in other means. You repurpose them into something new, and then you cover it all up with a fake little pink slip. But, as for the employee, who we play as, is this the canon ending? Well, perhaps not. Unlike many FNAF games where the ending is arguable or not fully stated, Help Wanted 1 was one where we absolutely know which was the true ending. There was one ending where you get trapped in an animatronic by Glitchtrap, very much like the Mask Bot ending. and then the harder to achieve ending where you seal Glitchtrap away behind the door. But he successfully possesses our character, Vanessa, and we know this is the canonical ending because not only is Vanessa possessed and not an animatronic, but because the door reappears in Princess Quest and is open to let Glitchtrap out and free Vanny of his possession. In this case, Help Wanted 2 mirrors that. There is the short possessed ending and the longer, more complex ending where Vanny seemingly destroys Glitchtrap and continues existing. In this ending, however, our main character finds himself stranded in a prize machine, or likely in a virtual game world. So whether or not he will eventually go on to possess something else is unknown. He might still possess Mime Bot after this, or something else. Who knows? Even if he doesn't, I don't think that detracts from what we see here. This is all a big blue clue stamped on our faces. So, are all of the S.T.A.F.F. bots possessed by humans? Probably not. I mean, firstly, we have no concrete evidence that the massacre in the basement truly occurred. Secondly, many of the S.T.A.F.F. bots act in the same automated way as they did before the humans started disappearing, following basic tasks and being entirely harmless. Mime Bot is the only thing we have to go on, and he's a hard read because we see him very briefly. But there are S.T.A.F.F. bots acting remarkably human, and we certainly have aggressive ones in the form of the Nightmare S.T.A.F.F. bots. If we go off on Five Nights at Freddy's history with aggressive animatronics and what causes them, there's a pretty solid case that the defective Nightmare S.T.A.F.F. bots are possessed by something. That it isn't just Glitchtrap using some sort of virus, but maybe infecting them with the remains of the humans he took out with them. Fazbear Entertainment might even be involved with this, trying to use a large swath of murderers to make the S.T.A.F.F. bots more lifelike, forcing their human staff to become their slave laborers who can never quit, never go home, and never speak a word against their company. We have a crime scene, a motive, and a man or woman with a weapon. We just don't have the smoke coming off of the gun or the shells on the carpet. It looks like something happened here, but we're going off of circumstantial evidence. But that doesn't mean that we can't get a charge here, and I would say that any deaths of the employees and the torment of the S.T.A.F.F. bot lies not only in Glitchtrap's fuzzy fingers, but in the hands of Freddy's themselves, who were either on board with this or simply didn't care in the aftermath. I mean, if not Glitchtrap, then we are aware that someone on the inside helped Vanessa get into the Pizzaplex. I'm assuming that was Glitchtrap, but let's say it wasn't. Maybe that would explain the company's downright baffling decisions if the plan was to eventually use the entire workforce to fuel a spread of robotic workers who could tend to the Pizzaplex without rest. And let me also mention that the Blob Tangle might be involved here, both being in the basement and having a cut segment in Help Wanted 2 where he was supposed to maybe be what was triggering the S.T.A.F.F. bots to turn on you, which would imply that it created the Nightmare S.T.A.F.F. bots, which would be a whole different line of possession for the Nightmare S.T.A.F.F. bots, and would possibly connect to the old games, as the Nightmare S.T.A.F.F. bots have written on their chest in your dreams and seem to be a reference to Nightmarian. It would make sense, but the whole thing was cut, so I'm gonna just keep to what we have to work with so far. So keeping that in mind, what are the S.T.A.F.F. bots? The S.T.A.F.F. bots are an interesting case. Cute enough for the outside viewer, not very threatening when it comes to someone playing the game, even a bit quirky and lovable, really. Their little tempers coming off more goofy than anything, and only the most threatening and painted of bots getting under your skin. But in lore-wise, the S.T.A.F.F. bots are something much more dangerous. They are uncanny, job-stealing metal replacements who might have become prisons and coffins to keep Freddy's running with as few whistleblowers as possible, not even having mouths to speak with and only speakers to replay fabricated lines. There is something sad about them, whether it be a world constantly breaking them down and apart, or what they represent, how cold and automated Freddy's has become over the years. From a cozy pizza place with smiling employees and fuzzy animatronics, to a sterile building decorated in pretty neon, with empty staring mechanized staff and chrome robots that resemble Freddy and friends but are always kept at a distance and behind a hefty paywall. In a way, the S.T.A.F.F. bots are the perfect employees, and it's a shame that they're treated no better than the old ones. Thank you for watching.